Today is our very first day. We're going to be specifically talking about quadratic functions. The very first thing I would like you to write in your journal is I would like you guys to write down what's called the parent function for all quadratics. Okay? Now the parent function that you guys are used to seeing is y equals x. Okay? Y equals x is the parent function for all linear functions. But now we're doing the parent function for quadratic functions, so that's going to be y equals x squared. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to Desmos, and I want you guys to see what it looks like. So we're going to go over here, we'll go to Desmos, and we'll hit y equals x, and there's the parent function for all linear functions. You're going to have to know that function for your test. But today, what are we specifically talking about? Quadratics, which is y equals x squared. And it goes from a line to some interesting shape. Does anybody know what this shape is called? When you're graphing a quadratic function, they have a specific name for it. You know it, but you forgot it. Okay? Alright, hey, how about this? We could play hangman, okay? Alright, there we go. Does anybody want to take a guess of what the name of the letter? Go ahead. Go ahead, Captain. C. C. I am sorry, there are no C's. So that's what's there. Oh, hold on. I gotta make the gallows. Gotta make it. Hold on. Let me erase that just a little bit. Hold on. There we go. Oh, okay. A what? Upside down M, a W? No. Oh, an L? Wait, what?
An upside down.
No, a letter.
A.
An A. Hold on. Ooh, it has 3 A's. So what was the first guess? You said C, right? That wasn't it. And you said A was it, and then you said Q. I'm sorry, that's not it. Okay, all right. So now we have the body of the person. All right. Oh, go ahead. B. I am sorry, there is no B. There's a leg that goes right there. Oh, go ahead. E. I'm sorry, there are no E's. All right. Okay. Oh, go ahead, Jordan. Oh, wait a second. I am wrong. There is a B. Hold on, there is a B. Let me erase that right here. Oh, there is a B. Hold on.
Well, do you know the word, Jordan? Yes. Recite it. What are you doing?
Hold on. Go ahead. Don't give it away. I apologize. There is a B. All right, you want to keep going? Sorry. There is a P. Right. All right, hold on.
Oh, I know. I can look now.
You know it now? You know it now? What is it? A parabola is correct.
I heard somebody say a parabola.
All right, so I apologize. There was a B. All right. Now, in each texture, sometimes they say parabola, but it's not correct. All right? It's a parabola, not parabola. Okay? All right. So this is a parabola. Now, what I'd like you guys to do, all right, on your paper right here. There we go. I want you guys to make a table. Make a table. We're going to put -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. So we're going to plug in some numbers here. Okay? We're going to plug in some numbers. Oh, by the way, just so you guys, in case you're wondering, this shape right here, once again, this is called a parabola. Alright? And that's what's formed by all quadratic functions. So, let's fill in this table. I'm not trying to trick you, just remember, a negative times a negative is a positive. So what is -2 times -2? Right, very good. What's -1 times -1? 0 times 0. 1 times 1, and 2 times 2. Watch this. We have -2 and a +4, which is right there on my little paper. Okay. See, negative 2, positive 4. We have a negative 1 and a negative 1 right here. Okay? This right here is at a 1. This right here is at a negative 1. We have a 0 and a 0 right here. We have a 1 and a 1 right here. And right over here, there would be a 2 and a 4 right about there. So there's a 2. This is a 1. This is at a 2, and that's at a 2 and a 4. So you notice these are the points that are on the parabola. Okay? So go ahead and put that in your journal. I'm going to go back over to Desmos real quick. I want you to see something. Right here, if you type it into Desmos, you get that cute little gear symbol. Okay, you can make it into a table. And look, there's our table right there. Negative 2, 4, negative 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 4. There's your table that you guys just created. So could you please make this in your journal? Make that graph in your journal because we're going to talk about some things on this particular graph. So y, remember, we just graphed y equals x squared. Okay. The very first point I would like to point out is this point right here at the origin. Okay. Now this is just the parent function. Okay. So this right here, this point is called the vertex. Okay. So the vertex of this particular parabola happens to be at 0, 0. This vertex is known as its minimum. A minimum is the lowest point on this particular graph. So think of this as a roller coaster. You're going down, and then this is the lowest point, and you go back up. That's why it's called the minimum. Okay. Now, that's what you guys need to know about the parent function for y equals x squared. There's another line that I need you guys to understand, and then this line splits this perfectly right in half. Does anybody know what they call lines when you're like in elementary school, things that split things perfectly in half? They call them lines of something. Ooh, say it again. That's right, lines of symmetry. But we don't call this the line of symmetry. We actually call this or refer to it as the axis of symmetry. Okay? The axis of symmetry. The axis of symmetry is the line that splits a parabola perfectly in half. Now, there's something you need to understand about all axes of symmetry. Okay? Which means this. It will always pass through one point. It always passes through the, anybody know what word I'm going to say? The axis of symmetry always passes through the, not always to the origin, but it always passes through the, what? Vertex. It will always pass through your vertex every single time. Okay? It will always pass through your vertex every single time. It may not always go through the origin, okay, but it will always pass through your vertex. Okay? So those are some things that you need to know for your function. Now, here's where it gets a little bit confusing. So we're going to talk about things, then we're going to come back to this. Okay? All right, so we're going to look at some other parabolas. We're going to talk about features of the other parabolas. You can put this on your paper. So right here, if you would, where's our paper? Right here. Let's go over to, hold on. Let's go over to this particular picture. It's on your paper. You can draw on your paper if you want to. All right. All right. So what do you notice on your paper? It says what? One solution. We're going to talk about what that means. Now this is your x-axis, and this is your y-axis. Now you notice it says one solution. A solution is where a parabola touches the x-axis. So this right here, yes, it's also a vertex, but this also happens to be a solution. Now there are other words for solution. Now, I'm going to make a number that's associated. I'm going to call that negative 1. I'm going to call that negative 2, negative 3. So I'm going to call this right here, I'm going to call it a negative 4. So I'm going to say negative 4, comma 0. We have a vertex. Now this vertex is once again known as its minimum. Okay, so it's known as its minimum at negative 4, 0. We also have a solution at negative 4, 0. Now there are 4 different words all together that mean the exact same thing, which is a solution where it crosses the x-axis, where it crosses it right there. Does anybody know another word that means solution with quadratics? By the way, what's the y value always equal to on the x-axis? What's the y value? Somebody said 0. That's one of the words. So these are often referred to as zeros. So solutions can also be referred to as zeros. Okay? They can also be referred to as X-intercepts. And this is not very common, but sometimes they still refer to them as roots. So every single one of these right here, all of these mean the exact same thing. They are the place on the graph where the parabola hits the x-axis. Okay? So we have one solution here. Why do we only have one solution? Because it only touches it how many times on the x-axis? One time. Now, what else did we just learn? There's a line that passes through something. What do we call that line? Passes through the vertex? The line of symmetry. Or what do we call the line of symmetry? Very good. So we have an axis of symmetry. So right here, I'm going to write the word. We have an axis of symmetry. Now here's what you guys need to understand about the axis of symmetry. It's a vertical line. And whenever you have a vertical line, it's not going to be a y equals, it's going to be an x equals. Does anybody know what this axis of symmetry, what the equation is for this axis of symmetry? Right. You're going to say x equals negative 4. Okay? Now, you guys see this graph right here that I made? I'm going to show you what it would look like on Desmos. So I'm going to type in this graph real quick into Desmos. All right, I'm going to clear this out. I'm going to hit y equals. I'm going to do parentheses x plus 4, close parentheses, and I'm going to square it. And then I'm going to type in x equals negative 4. Okay. Okay. All right, so there's our graph that you guys were kind of looking at. I'll take a quick little snapshot. So here we have our axis of symmetry at x equals 4. By the way, this point right here, what do we call 0, 16? What do you think that's still called, where it crosses the y-axis? The y-intercept. All right, so the y-intercept is at a 0, 16. This point right here is called the solution, which is also known as its vertex. Okay. All right. So can you guys see this graph? Eventually, it would hit way up here on the y-axis. So right now, let's go over to the next picture. Ooh, how many solutions does this one have? 2. So let me talk to you about where the solutions are. Here we go. We have a solution right here. And we have a solution right here. So this is going to be a good drawing to have in your journal because right now, I'm going to say we have 2 solutions. Okay? 2 solutions. Also known as roots, zeros, or x-intercepts. Does anybody want to venture to guess what I'm going to call this point right there? Call it the vertex. All right. There's a little point right here that we haven't been able to see very easily on the other one. What is that point called right there? Yeah, say it. That's the y-intercept. Good. Yeah, I heard you. Good job. That's the y-intercept. writing this down. All right, I'm going to go back real quick. This vertex right here was known as a minimum. What do you think this particular vertex is going to be referred to as? Yes, that's the maximum. Why do we call it the maximum? Because that's as high as it gets. All right, so that's called its maximum. So this parabola goes up, it reaches its highest point, and then it goes right back down. Okay? What's the only thing that we have not labeled in this graph? No, actually, the line of symmetry, but we don't call it the line of symmetry. Come on.
Axis.
Hold on, that's as bad as I can do. Okay. So this line right here, this line that splits that parabola perfectly in half, that is what's referred to as the axis of symmetry. Okay? Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys a parabola on Desmos that would allow you to kind of see what's going on here. Okay, so we're gonna look at, and we're gonna see if you guys can point out where those points are. So let's go to Desmos real quick. Okay, I'm gonna say negative, open parentheses, x plus 3 plus 2 and x minus 3. Okay. All right. So here's a similar graph right there. There's a similar graph. So this is what the last major drawing that you don't have to do this drawing. We're just going to identify some things. Okay. So see if you guys can identify this right now. Okay. So right now, what we're going to do, here's your picture. All right. You can put your pencils down. You can just identify this. I'm going to talk about different things. We have a vertex. Okay. We have an ordered pair. We have what's called two zeros. So we have two ordered pairs that represent zeros. We also have a y-intercept. Okay, we have an ordered pair for a y-intercept. And the last thing we're going to talk about is what's called the axis of symmetry, which is x equals a number. Okay? So right now we're going to cover everything that you need to know about parabolas in Algebra 1 right here. All right, the first thing we're going to do is we have an ordered pair. We have an x value and a y value that represents the vertex. What is the vertex? Very good. So we're going to put 0.5, which is a half, and 6.25, and understand, I'm going to highlight it in red right here. There we go. The vertex is the highest point in this particular case, right here. There's your vertex. So I'm going to label it. Vertex. By the way, what would be another word they could use in a word problem? That's it. That's it. That's right. Locate your maximum. This is the maximum. Why? Because it's the highest point in the parabola. Very good. All right, now we're on to, I'm going to highlight a different color. We're on to zeros right here. We have two zeros. I'm going to highlight it in green. Hopefully, you will understand what the word zeros or roots or solutions or x-intercepts. Go ahead. Call them out, Jordan. -2, 0, and 3, 0. These are considered to be your zeros right there. Those are your zeros. Okay? Now we are on to the y-intercept. I'm going to color it in orange. The y-intercept is where the parabola touches the y-axis. What did you all locate the y-intercept to be? 0, 6 is correct. 0, 6 is correct right there. This point is called your y-intercept. Okay? Now the trickiest one is what's called your axis of symmetry. So I'm going to color the axis of symmetry. Let's do blue. All right. Were you guys able to figure out the equation for the axis of symmetry? You're right, 0.5, also known as x equals 1/2. Now watch what I do right now. Check this out. Here we go. Right here, I'm going to put x equals 0.5, and look what happens. It grabs the line of symmetry perfectly down through the parabola. By the way, what does Desmos give you when you touch the parabola? It gives you the zeros, it gives you the y-intercept, it gives you your vertex. Now, does it say these are the zeros? No. But it gives you the important points that you need to be able to locate on an exam. All right? These are the points that you need to be able to locate on an exam. So you need to be able to identify that all of these points are all of those. Okay? So all those points represent important vocabulary. So right now, what we're going to do today, all right? That's enough for the video.